KLEW's Game of the Week, sponsored by Happy Day Restaurants.
It started with the bridges, not just a symbol, but a barrier between two communities. 130 times these two teams have met each other on the field for the ultimate crown of the Lewis-Clark Valley, and tonight is one of the closest it has ever been. Welcome to Bengal Field as the Lewiston Bengals welcome in their crosstown nemesis, the Clarkston Bantams. It is the most heated this rivalry has ever been, and it is sure not to this point. And we thought, what better way to do it than put these two fans from these two schools right by each other. It's the battle of the bridges, yet another time, this time at Bengal Field. And this game is one of our biggest games of the week yet.
It's the one game everybody talks about. So, you know, obviously it's super important to the community.
Whatever you feel right now, you amp it up by like 10 by the time Friday rolls around. There's going to be nerves. There's going to be excitement.
Keep it hot, give it all you got, yeah. All I know, grinding never stop, yeah.
It's really loud and it's a lot of energy and emotion.
And watch, yeah, to the top, going to the top, yeah.
I'm gonna talk smack to them, but like I'm still gonna play.
Yeah, run my brain, hustle coast to coast, yeah. We the
League's the main focus for us, but this would be the cherry on top of our season if we win it.
you ain't getting no shit. I'm gonna get it poppin'.
We definitely want to keep the streak going, and there's a little bit of pressure on us.
Losing is not an option. I don't need your help.
All my 4 years, we've always wanted to beat Lewiston, and that's something we want to do, and we're planning on doing it.
Can't talk about me until further notice. That's just what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be.
Lewiston and Clarkston is one of the closest rivalries, if not, it's one of the longest, if not the longest, in the entire inland Northwest. These two teams have played each other hundreds of times. Tonight is the 130th. Lewiston leads the all-time series with 80 wins. Clarkston has 42, and there have been 7 ties in this one. But the numbers tell a little bit of the same story there as well. Only one quarterback has ever thrown for 5 touchdowns in a single battle of the bridges. That was Lewiston's Matt Forge in 2003. Keyshawn Clark had 5 total touchdowns, 2 rushing and 3 receiving in 2016. Clarkston's Brian O'Kelly is the only player to have more than 200 rushing yards in a single game. He had 216 back in 2007. The Bengals won 13 straight games from 1981 to 1993. That is the longest win streak in the rivalry's long decorated history. Nick Manigas was a part of that win streak. He was Lewiston's head coach for more than a decade and never lost a game to Clarkston in his 13 seasons. But for coaches, the longest all-time tenure is Dave Curtis, who spent 27 years on the sidelines for the Bantams, although he was only able to beat Lewiston 3 times. Now, this is not the only big rivalry game tonight. We also have the Little Battle of the Blues up in Moscow at Bear Field. That's where Devin Truby is standing by on the sidelines to give us an update on Pullman and Moscow.
It's been 7 straight wins for the Pullman Greyhounds in the Battle of the Palouse, and none of those games have really been close. Moscow's lost by 40 points per game in the last 3 years and struggled to even put double digits up on the scoreboard. But is this the year the Moscow Bears come out of hibernation? Pullman's offense is strong. Literally, Isaiah and Evan Strong are 2 of their best players.
They want to go to those boys, and there's a reason being. You know, if I had them on my team, I'd want to give them the rock too.
The Strongs have been scoring at will this season. They've combined for 7 of Pullman's 11 touchdowns through the first 2 games.
Obviously, the older Strong boy, you know, just with his size, his speed, his physicality, I mean, he's tough. Any way that they can get a touch on those 2 guys, you know, is a win for them.
Even Pullman's young quarterback Riley Pettit has been playing on another level.
His decision making is great. Even when he makes a mistake, he's coming off, and he knew he made the mistake, and he knew how to fix it.
Moscow has been no slouch this year. Both QBs Chad Rettinger and Lane Hansen are the focus.
They can make you pay if you're not disciplined, and I think that'll be a good test for us. I think this will be by far the best team we've seen so far, and so I'm looking forward to kind of getting tested a little bit.
Moscow's looked better this year than they have in recent memory.
Every time we play them every year, it's a different matchup, and I think this year is probably one of the tougher matchups that I've seen.
For the Bears, it's all about a program-changing moment.
If we can get over that hump and take care of Pullman on Friday night, that'd be huge for our program.
Moscow quarterback Chad Rettinger missed last week's game with a leg injury, but coaches confirm he will be the man under center in tonight's game. Now, that's nothing against their other quarterback, Lane Hansen, who threw for 4 touchdowns last week on the road. Coaches say they would have felt just as confident with him running the offense for tonight. Well, that's all from the Battle of the Palouse. I'm Palouse Bureau Chief Devin Truby, KLEW News. Back to you, Armin.
And now to our game of the week, the 130th Battle of the Bridges. Let's start out with the away team, the Clarkston Bantams. They're returning almost everyone, and they have looked unstoppable this year. They have playmakers everywhere. Caden Frazier at quarterback, True Allen, Steve Baye, Austin Armstrong. Everyone on their team is so fast, and they've got themselves thinking they can finally beat the Bengals.
Beating the Lewiston Bengals. It's a badge of honor the Clarkston Bantams are trying to earn.
This is your opportunity to have that badge of honor to be a team that has beat Lewiston. In the last 60 years, it's not like it happens all the time.
The rivalry brings so many loud, chaotic fans.
They can't hear anything we're talking. I might as well not yell because they're not going to hear me.
That the Bantams will be using more hand signals than verbal play calling. As long as they win, the Bantams can get around the noise.
If we can come back here on Friday night and Saturday morning, wake up and read the newspaper and it says Clarkston wins, that's a huge thing.
Clarkston says it all starts with just executing plays and shutting down Lewiston's offense.
They don't have to play as many two-way players, so we just have to be really conditioned.
The Bantams feel they have an edge going in.
I feel like they aren't as good as they have been, but they still got a lot of talent on their team.
It's not often Clarkston is the favorite, but this year with all the firepower the Bantams have, they feel it's their time to regain control of the Valley.
I've always grown up watching, the Clarkston-Lewiston rivalry, and I think it'd be really cool if, I ended up being the quarterback and our team that beat them.
Clarkston has been outstanding this year, but it's the Lewiston Bengals who have owned this series for the last 4 years. They have not lost a single game, and Clarkston has not even been close to them. Clarkston has not scored a single point since 2016. That's the last 2 matchups. For Lewiston, it's all about starting hot early. The last 5 of the past 6 teams to score first in this game have been the winner, but it's something the Bengals haven't done yet this season.
Lewiston is coming into tonight's game with 2 straight losses, both to Washington schools.
We're a super young team, and it showed up last couple weeks, and I'm hoping that we are better at our assignments.
One of those young guys is junior quarterback Cash Lang.
I'd like to see him be more comfortable early in the game. I think he's been a little nervous last 2 games. So, if we can go out and not have the nerves, then it'll help.
But it's Lewiston's run game that should worry the Bantams.
Honestly, I think we can just beat them with the run. I think they have a good defense, but we can still beat them.
Isaiah Walker also thinks there's one position the Bengals can easily exploit.
Cornerback position. I see a lot of walking from them, so that would be, that's why we can pass the ball, is because they're walking all over the place.
Players have already noticed a different mindset for this game.
Attitude's way different. Everyone's more hungry. They want it more this week, by far.
Lewiston also has to deal with shutting down Clarkston's offense.
We just got to know our jobs and do what we need to do, get our eyes right before the snap, make sure we're getting our read steps and pedals, and just playing the ball, playing the quarterback, doing everything we can.
tonight's game is looking like the closest in recent memory. So let's take a look at what each team needs to do to win this game. For the Clarkston Bantams, it's simple. They need to be able to silence Lewiston's rushing attack. The Bengals have been a little one-dimensional offense this year. Pass playing has not developed yet into the gunslingers we've seen in the purple and gold over the years. If Clarkston can slow down Lewiston's run game, they'll be in the driver's seat. Clarkston also has to keep a level head. Here's what I mean by that. In last year's game, the Bantams played tough early, but they made one mistake that snowballed into another and another and another. You cannot let that happen if you want to win this year. If one thing goes wrong, you just don't make the same mistake. Third is something the Bantams have done all season, having explosive plays. Clarkston's gonna take shots with their air raid offense, so if they can convert those attempts into big plays to what's looking like maybe one of the best receiving corps in school history. For Lewiston, they have to get the quarterback, Caden Frazier. The one thing the Bengals cannot allow him to do is have all day to throw in the pocket. He'll make them pay. You have to bring pressure and make him throw it quick. Because of that, that also prevents him from throwing over top. That goes hand in hand with what the Bengals' defensive mentality needs to be: bend, don't break. Clarkston is going to throw deep, but can the Bengals stop them when they get in close? You can allow all the yards you want as long as you don't let them consistently get in the end zone. Lewiston needs to stick to running the ball when they have it. It'll chew up the clock and keep Clarkston's offense off the field. And when you have a guy like Cruz Hepburn running it, you want him to rack up those touches. It's what Lewiston does best, and they'll have to pound the rock to win. Players to watch for each team. For Clarkston is True Allen. Dynamic receiver has 6 touchdowns in 2 games this season. That's a testament to how much he's improved this last year. Coaches told me Allen's found the next gear. If he catches the ball and makes a guy miss in open space, you can blink and he's already gonna be in the end zone. He's also a good coverage cornerback as he is a receiver. He's a pure cover guy and has great ball skills and length. For Lewiston, it's gotta be Cash Lang. The quarterback position is just about the only piece of the Bengals haven't quite yet figured out this season, although it is still only week 4. You already know Lewiston's run game is very scary, so if you can add Cash Lang, spreading the ball around the pocket, the Bengals all of a sudden might turn into the most unstoppable 5'8" team in the state, and it does not hurt that he is a great scrambler either. And now it is time for our Game of the Week pick. It's time to pick the winner of this game. We have a Clarkston headgear here, a Lewiston headgear here, so who do we pick in this one? Lewiston has won this game. Lewiston has won this game 4 straight years, and it has not been that close in those 4 years. Clarkston has not even scored a touchdown, even a point, since 2016. But Clarkston's looked unstoppable this year. So do you pick the Bengals or the Bantams? You gotta lean with the Bengals at home, don't you? I'm not sure if you can pick the Bengals in this one. I'm not sure if you can pick the Bantams in this one. But you know that offense is just way too good. I'm gonna take the Bantams in this one. Finally win this game. Bengals take this one. I send it back to you, Keith.